Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the third UK webinar of the week and the second in 2 days from Arizona, hosted from Arizona, where it's 7 o'clock in the morning. The power hour, as I guess Seth Kelly calls it for the UK. And just to introduce it, today we're talking to Seth Kelly, who's European Vice President for BlueInk. Some sort of great title like that for BlueInk. But Seth today is going to talk about both the e-signature software, but also the broader context of how to set up and manage business processes in a remote world, the world we're finding ourselves in now. With that, I think I'll hand over to Seth to kick off. So, over to you, Seth.
Hey, thank you, sir. Wonderful to see your face virtually. And thank you, everybody, for joining us this afternoon. And certainly looking forward to sharing some of our process of how we've been successful in implementing our remote workforce and sustaining operations through this process at a relatively high level. I think the biggest thing that we're missing now is that physical touch, certainly amongst some folks within our team. Others are quite happy to stay at home and work in their shorts and flip-flops here in Arizona. But certainly it's a trying task to maintain success, sanity, and certainly management of operations without that physical touch, and certainly having to rely upon technology to really guide through that process. So as Dave mentioned, I certainly show you some of the tools that we utilize with our teams, from sales to development and support, accounting, HR, you name it, how we're all still able to stay connected and ensure that business is running smoothly. Now, just some personal background. I was in the world of property management for about 18 years. So I certainly can appreciate the struggles and the stress that comes with trying to manage operations for properties while sustaining some sort of social distancing. So my heart goes out to all of you that are trying to do that, and certainly best wishes for all your teams, your staff, and everyone else. But okay, so as Dave said, I will answer questions at the end. I will certainly give you some information as well about BlueInk's platform. Certainly what your opportunity through your membership is with BlueInk, and some of the new features that we've released that certainly can be quite useful in today's state of affairs and then moving forward. So let me share my screen. Okay, so really what we aim to do through this presentation is to provide you some insight and some tools that are available. Many of you have probably already found these tools, and hopefully they're working well. If not, these could be a great opportunity for you to implement. And many of them are at no cost. But again, embracing the social distance, our job is to slow the spread. Obviously, we're 6 to 8 weeks in, depending on where you're located, to the responsibility or the task of slowing the spread. Certainly, it's very difficult to do in a lot of property management cases. Certainly, it's your properties. But the concept of slowing the spread and doing our part is one I think that most have embraced for the most part now. Certainly folks are starting to get itchy to get back to life and get back out. And certainly here in Arizona, they just announced the lift of the stay-at-home order for May 15th. But going into that, there still needs to be some level of appreciation for slowing down the spread of the virus. And certainly hope that all, as we get back to life, embrace at least the foreseeable future of keeping our distance, even in the workforce. As businesses open back up, many won't run back to opening offices, if you will, in certain capacities. And I think it's important to maintain that, obviously, moving forward. Now, what we do here at BlueInk with that, we're going to continue to do our remote workforce probably for at least another 30 days. In part because we've been so successful in our operations working remotely. You know, the transition to the workforce, the remote workforce, was a daunting task initially. Our software developers were able to transition very quickly because they're used to sitting in front of a computer and not having to talk to anybody all day. But everyone else on the team, certainly it was a trying task to get everyone up to speed, and certainly the implementation of the technology and systems that we were going to utilize to ensure that. Now, it's very important for us. It was very important to ensure that every employee of BlueInk was successful and can continue to be successful in their role for our company and our customers. Certainly in an office space, having the ability to have meetings and certainly talk to one another whenever we needed to was an important part to what we did on a daily basis. Now we don't necessarily have that availability immediately. So managing the day-to-day process, even from meetings, was very important to us, you know, through a very strict schedule, if you will. But so far, we've had tremendous success, and everyone has been able to do their job, so to speak, with relative ease through these processes that we've implemented. Now, ensuring doors stay open for business. Obviously, in the specific industry you are in, having the ability to show apartments, complete maintenance requests, certainly the operations don't stop, or the needs of your tenants or residents. And I'm sure most of you have found the specific tools to be able to do so, to help that, to help the doors stay open for your properties. Some of the tools, again, that we'll show you are ones that we actually use today, that certainly could help you as you move forward, knowing that this isn't going away anytime soon. And then certainly empathy towards customers, understanding that they're going through the exact same thing you are going through, or we are going through, and being able to communicate with them effectively. You know, certainly in situations that might cause some discomfort, maybe a rent payment is missed, or a subscription payment is missed, or somebody who has complications with our software and is having trouble understanding it, learning it, so on and so forth. It's really important now to have a level of empathy and understanding for what our customers are going through. And I think the relationship management aspect is incredibly important. It has been for us, that when we speak with folks, that though business and life must go on, that there is a level of empathy that certainly can be appreciated in sustaining that relationship moving forward. And I know in your capacity, as it is here in the States, and some of my own investment property, ensuring the rent payment comes in on time is something that I think we're all quite afraid of. Fortunately for us here, there was some assistance that was in place, so we didn't experience a great deal of bad debt or missed rent payments. We've been fairly protected, but I think as we move forward, it might become a bigger issue, and hopefully it doesn't become so problematic that the relationship's sour. But we certainly encourage a very high level of empathy with customers, as we would anyway. Okay, I went too fast. All right, so now working from home. You know, BlueInk transitioned completely about March 10th. We decided to move forward with our remote workforce even before they started closing up offices officially in Arizona. And in doing so, we had to find specific tools that allowed us to continue to work together and ensure the success of all aspects of our operations. And these are, again, these that I'm going to go through here, I'm going to talk briefly about the benefits and how we use them, and certainly the availability of these products to you through their websites. So we had to provide our employees with the necessary tools to be successful. Certainly Zoom. We are on Zoom now. It's been quite helpful. You know, they're in the ability to have FaceTime or communicate within your office is a key component. It's probably the most important component to the working from home. Now, we use Zoom on a daily basis for customer meetings, for webinars, for demonstrations, but we also have preset scheduled meetings daily for each department, from executive meetings to our sales team, to our development team, human resources. There are specific opportunities for employees to jump on webinars that we host as our HR team, going over certain information like this. We also provide information about and updates about what is happening with the state of Arizona and our stay-at-home order. So Zoom is incredibly powerful to keep that personal touch, you know, in our office. It's certainly beneficial for customers as well for communicating with those the folks we do business with, but it's been incredibly powerful internally. You know, Zoom, they allow it to 100 individuals right now for free. I think it's a 30-minute cap on the meetings at no cost when you sign up for it. But they also have some really not terribly priced subscriptions if you're interested in looking into it. And Zoom has certainly had a little bit of negative publicity, just like anything else. For the most part, we're very comfortable with Zoom and haven't had any issues with it whatsoever. So we certainly encourage you to look at Zoom or any other virtual meeting space that exists. And there are a handful of others that are available to you as well. Okay, so I am going to show you the website. Trello, so this is a collaborative and website so that you can work together on different projects. We're using Trello a lot for marketing purposes. So we're able to collaborate on a variety of pieces, whether it's a white paper or if we're distributing a content piece specific to an industry, whatever it might be. It's a powerful tool when it comes to the imagery and creating a variety of different products from that standpoint. It's also expansive. There are a lot of features we're not using with Trello, but it is proven to be a very powerful tool for us to utilize, and it is free. They are offering a free platform for it as well, which we are using. We haven't yet had to pay for it yet. So as long as we can, we'll continue to do so. Of course, Slack. If you're not familiar with Slack, it's effectively an internal chat system. And what we do with Slack, and we are paying customers of Slack, but they do also have a free account that can be very powerful. But you can instantly chat with any department, any team member. You can create specific lines of communication or categories, whether it's maintenance, certainly leasing. We use it for sales, customer support. It's a really powerful tool to inform you. And if you think about a kind of a text messaging system that's used internally and securely, it's wonderful for that. And certainly our executive team, we're able to monitor everything that's occurring within our company through the Slack channel, because we get updates from Slack whenever information is entered, or even if somebody signs up in our system, for example, they have notifications that will pop up. So we're big fans of Slack. Certainly encourage everybody, if you're not using it or something like it, to take a look at Slack. And their free platform is actually pretty comprehensive. Okay, MailChimp. So MailChimp is a email delivery platform. And we use MailChimp for engagement on product announcements, for certainly sales, but it can also be used for distribution of newsletters or certain announcements that you might want to do. Even on the leasing side, if you've got a list of targets, if you will, or individuals that have maybe visited or inquired about your property, you can use MailChimp to deliver to them emails. And the customization within those emails is pretty powerful. From imagery and certainly links, content, they provide you and I'm going to bring this over here just so you can see the screen. They provide you a pretty powerful opportunity to create specific content. And they are also offering a free platform. And I obviously haven't logged in a moment, so I won't do so. But you can create a custom domain. They do have a free account as well. It gives you a great tool to track and monitor the email activity that's going out. As far as internal use with employees, I don't know if it's as necessary or needed, but certainly when doing business with your customers now and potential customers, take a look at MailChimp. It's a easy to use platform that can really help improve your ability to generate new business or communicate with existing customers. Now, certainly document management and e-signatures. We think BlueInk is a pretty powerful product, and we're certainly very excited about our partnership with the United Kingdom Apartment Association. For those of you that are not familiar with the partnership that we have, you are entitled to a free account with your membership. And we have actually, Dave, we haven't had a chance to talk to you about this, but we have bumped that up through the end of October this year, that you have up to 10 users in the account, and you can send up to 100 document signings per month. So that's our free platform that we are now offering through this process that is available to you today as well. Now, the nice thing about an electronic signature platform, many of you might already be using a system within your management software, Folio, MRI, or any of the other number of providers that exist. You may have an e-signature component with your lease documents and maybe some other forms. The benefit of having a document management or e-signature platform, even if you don't intend to use it for those lease agreements, if they're already integrated with your system, it's helpful to be able to distribute any form that you might have, whether it's internal, it can be employee related, human resources. It can be tenant-based if you've got documents that you distribute to tenants that require signature, maybe a renewal notification, non-payment of rent notification, move-out notice, things of that nature that may not exist in your software, your management software. Certainly having a system like BlueInk to be able to distribute those forms, one, it's efficient, it's incredibly convenient for your customers, for your tenants, and it adheres to our social distancing responsibility, if you will. Now, to learn more about BlueInk and what I'll do after this, I will distribute the activation link to everybody. So if you haven't had a chance to activate your free account, we'll get that link to you so that you can do so. And then certainly any opportunity that you would like to take to discuss with our team or myself directly about some of the more powerful opportunities within BlueInk, which I'll give you a little bit more information on at the end of this, some of our new features, we can certainly set up that appointment with you and discuss further. So these, again, working from home, these are some of the necessary tools that we have used to help ensure our success. Now, on to management of employees. So certainly providing the tools to make everyone successful, to help them be successful is one aspect of it. The other is to ensure our employees are happy and they are involved and they are in the know, if you will, about what our business is doing and what our goals are and what we're accomplishing. Now, being that we're remote now, we've had to create a very really strict schedule, if you will, for everyone to attend and for us to have the opportunities to meet with everybody. Leadership meetings have been incredibly important, which we do each morning. We have a meeting every morning with our leadership team, and you know, what we do is we set our business goals for the day, for the week, and really try to create a conservative outlook on what we can accomplish, and stick to those goals. And we discuss them daily so that we're all in the loop and that we are able to change course very quickly when need be. Our contingency plans we prepare, we review on a weekly basis. You know, for the leadership, everything trickles downhill. So if we are successful in that meeting in what our goals are for each of our teams, it really helps create a successful environment for our employees. Nobody is in the dark. Everyone's got something to do, so to speak. And we're able to track and manage that with the technology that we're using now. Certainly use the time wisely during these meetings. It's very easy to get wrapped up in a 10-minute how's life conversation. We found that very early on that we were not wasting time, because it's important to have those conversations, but certainly adhering to the schedule is very important. You know, one thing we are doing now with the time being spent at home is that we're encouraging our employees to partake in training programs that are available as well. There are, for example, our developers are able to go through a variety of code building classes and training. Certification, they can also work on specific certifications in their particular craft. Certainly encouraging employees that are working from home to stay active, not just physically, but with their brains. Provide them the opportunity to go through different training courses and programs that could very well be available through the association. And there might be other opportunities out there. I know there are, just my experience, a very large number of leasing training programs. Your maintenance teams, if they are working remotely, it's probably not likely because they need to go fix things, but you know, providing them the opportunity for certifications, additional training. And you know, one thing we also do is a wish list. So we allow our employees to send kind of a comment inbox about what they would like to see BlueInk do next, or what improvements they would like to see our platform have, or what training programs, what additional opportunities we can provide them through the process. So we've got a very open line of communication with our teams to also empower them to feel that they are a part of the operation itself. Knowing that we're all in the same boat, working from home and trying to do our best to manage the day-to-day as if nothing happened. But you know, give them the opportunity to communicate with your leadership teams as well. Now, adherence to the schedule, again, back to the importance of adhering to the schedule, even those meetings that you have. If you've got a 15-minute window to talk about human resources or COVID updates, or your leadership team's goals for the week, things of that nature, stick to the allotment of time that you've created for that meeting and try not to go past it. That really helps in setting a routine that we can all appreciate during this process of working from home. Reports, certainly we generate reports throughout our systems to review customer success, activity, as you do, I'm sure, with you know, finances, maintenance requests, leasing activity. Certainly have those reports and review those reports together through those meetings so that everyone is on the same page with alignment to weekly goals and daily goals. Again, setting the weekly tasks, you know, having those deadlines, if you will, for when things need to get done have always existed. It's easier to lose focus on that when we're working from home, as we've got kids running around or dogs barking or you name it, the lawnmower going off outside my window now, whatever the situation might be. But you know, remaining focused on those tasks can be difficult, but if there is an expectation through these meetings, use your calendars wisely, of course, with meeting invitations, and so that all can see it. And the expectation that we're going to meet today at 9 a.m. to discuss topic A, B, and C. We've been very successful there in sustaining some normalcy, probably even more successful working remotely than we do in the office, because at times in the office we can goof off a little bit, if you will. And this really has helped us remain focused on, the tasks at hand. There's a million different moving parts, obviously, with any operation, and keeping focused on the needs of those specific items through weekly tasks, meetings, and reporting are certainly important. Now, happy employees, happy company. Another thing that we do is kind of a social aspect of our meetings that we get into, and this is where we utilize that time to talk with one another about things in life. Our business meetings are very structured and they're very focused, but we also have these team building online office games. So we'll have like a midday break, if you will, where everybody can jump on Zoom as well. We do open that up, and they literally can socialize and have a lunch hour and play games with each other. And these are just a couple of the activities that we do. There's a teambuilding.com online office games. Take a look. It's really fun. It's really cool. And it's a great opportunity for employees to continue engagement with each other. We're finding a lot of people now developing relationships, employees developing relationships where they didn't in the past or never really had the opportunity. So really utilizing throughout the week, not just in the evenings or on the weekends, but encouraging it during the day, and setting some times aside for team building and socializing has been a big hit for BlueInk, and certainly encourage everyone else to do it. MTV Cribs Remote Team Edition, that one's a little fun. I wasn't sure about that one initially, but our marketing director was adamant about it, and it's pretty cool. Certainly take a look. And then there's a craft challenge, DIY craft challenge, where team building. Again, it's all fun. It's all focused on the mental condition and state and happiness of our employees, but it certainly serves the purpose to continue to build your teams in a very powerful way in creating those relationships. And then, of course, spread positivity. During those chats, we talk about uplifting stories. Our HR team does a very good job of distributing. There's so much negativity when you go on any site or watch the news about how horrible this disease is and how difficult it is. We don't spend a lot of time doing that. We share more uplifting stories, not just about the coronavirus, but really just life in general. Certainly be cautious not to offend anybody with any of the stories that are found and delivered, but it doesn't take long to find a lot of those powerful and encouraging stories that exist through this process. So be sure to spread that with your teams as well. Okay, so that's the conclusion of our the kind of process and what we're doing and how we've been able to sustain some normalcy in business. Keep a positive outlook, try to operate business as usual. The tools that were available, of course, the technology tools can be very helpful during this process. Employee morale and understanding of what they're going through, certainly the empathy that we have for our employees as you do for yours, and some flexibility that comes with it. Ensuring their happiness and their healthiness is paramount to success. And then last, stick to the deadlines and use the essential tools available to ensure success for each department. The opportunity to get through this, if you will, and without losing much momentum, certainly, hopefully without losing any business or employee opportunities. It's important that we all do what we can to ensure the people that work for us and the people we do business with are successful through this process as well. So now that's a good segue. I can go into some of the happenings at BlueInk, and I'd like to kind of share with you some of the features that are available to you through the account. Just to dive in a little bit further, of course, BlueInk is a e-signature platform, digital document platform. For those of you that have used one in the past, you're probably very familiar about capabilities and the purpose it serves. But one thing we do at BlueInk is that we try and stay on the forefront of technology and value to our customers. And in doing so, we create unique features that can be used in the platform that oftentimes aren't even thought of. If you think about an electronic signature, having a form, adding a signature box to it and sending it off, it's very easy. And yes, we do accomplish that. But just quickly to note on some of those key features that we do provide, one is our smart document. And the smart document is a clickable link that your tenants, your employees can use to access any form that you have. So instead of uploading a document, sending it out, having them review it, sign it, you can actually create a template that has a clickable link that you can post on your website. You can post it in your email. You can post it, really embed that URL code on any platform that you might need that will give those individuals the opportunity to complete that form, sign it electronically, and have it automatically delivered to you with notification. We're seeing this used on a very high level with application documents, onboarding, certainly with tenant management, any forms that your tenants would be required to fill out, like a notice to vacate. This tool is wonderful for that. It eliminates the wet signature or the print, sign, scan process, if you will. And we can do it with any forms that you have. Again, this works well with human resources at the same time. Any forms that your employees need to have access to whether it's taxation or anything else that might exist. We can create those clickable links on all of those documents as well. Another very powerful feature that's being utilized and is something that most people, when they learn about it, have a bit of an aha moment, as it's not something that exists on the market on a massive scale. I believe we're the only company to do it now, is our audio guided document review. So a good case study on this is the use of a lease agreement. As you distribute a lease agreement to a tenant to move in, and they are signing it electronically, you don't have much opportunity to ensure they understand the terms of that document or that contract or the expectations that come with it. Most will click through it very quickly, have a very basic understanding of how much rent they're going to pay, for example, and when rent is due. And maybe outside of that, they don't know much. But what happens is with our audio guided document review, when they receive that form, there's actually an audio narrative that will explain the terms of the lease contract to them as they're reviewing it. And some of those can be mandatory as well. So if you don't want to have them skip past or not understand a specific section, maybe late rent payments or notice to vacate process, security deposit, whatever it might be, the audio narrative will speak everything you want them to know as they're reviewing and signing the document. So it effectively replaces the in-person signing while still providing you the opportunity to explain the terms of your contract to your tenant so that down the road, hopefully, you can eliminate contract disputes that might come up with it. And one other component to that is the multilingual feature. So we can have that audio recording done in any language desired so that your tenant, whether they speak English or any other language, they'll have the opportunity to choose the language that they're most comfortable with and listen to the terms of the contract spoken to them so that they too also have a good understanding. So those are just two of the features that are available. There are quite a few others. And certainly as you activate your free account, you can explore some of the opportunities that exist. And we've got a wide variety of tutorial and informative videos available at the same time. And certainly we encourage you to set an appointment up with our teams, myself included, if you'd like to go over on a high level the capabilities. We also have an API integration opportunity. So if you would be interested in integrating our platform into an existing system, we can do that as well. Okay, Dave, I think that as far as what I can tell everybody, and without boring anyone too much further, now would be a good time for Q&A. So any questions that have come in, I'm able to see the Q&A box, so I can answer those directly, Dave, unless you'd like to go through a different process.
No, very happy. As you can see, there's one question come in.
Yeah, let's take a look. Do my customers and clients I send documents to need to download any software to be able to sign documents? No, they do not. So they are not going to need a login. They won't need to download any software. They'll be able to click the link that is delivered to them via email or via text. Another powerful tool within BlueInk available to you is the ability to send your signings via text message, and they won't need to download any software for that. And this is actually a good segue. Let me quickly explain one of the essential components to BlueInk, and a differentiator of our platform versus others is signer identity authentication. So with an electronic signature, when you deliver a form to somebody to sign, it's going to capture their IP address. That's a legal requirement. So the device they're using has a unique IP address. The system will capture that to validate the signature. When we built BlueInk, we felt that wasn't effective in confirming identity of the signer. So what we're providing to you with any bundle that you send out to individuals for signatures, you can activate our optional identity features. The IP address is going to be captured automatically. The geolocation is going to be documented automatically as well. And now what we're doing now with the authentication options that are available. One, you can use an SMS PIN. What that will do is send a text message to your signer with a PIN number that they have to enter in before they are able to review and sign the document. We have a selfie feature where the individual will take a photograph of themselves. So you will have a stored image of that individual that signed the document. And then the third component, very high level, is a driver's license or ID authentication, where you can activate and require the signer provide you the front and back of whatever ID they are using to confirm identity. They're optional. These are available with a click of a button when you send a form out if you want to activate it, but they are very helpful in ensuring the identity of the signer, and the stored document at the end will have that data available as well. So if there ever is any question about the validity of a signature or a contract that's been signed, you've got this very powerful information to reflect that you did all you could to ensure that the identity of the signer was in fact the person intended. And those are at no cost, gang. Those are included with your accounts now. If you look to use your free account, those are all standard features of BlueInk. So you can use those as often as you'd like.
Seth, can I ask a question?
Yes.
As you mentioned at the beginning, many of us have document signing software either built into our property management package, or we're already using them. How do I switch from one of those to BlueInk? Is it a big task, or how do I go about it?
Sure, not necessarily. If it really, a lot of it depends upon the software that you're using, Dave. So if, for example, if you're a customer of Yardi, they do have API opportunities where you can utilize a system like BlueInk in replacement of their particular platform. And really it depends upon that software provider if they're going to allow for that integration to occur. The vast majority are very open to partnership on that front. Certainly the desire of most software companies, or most companies in general, are to ensure your happiness and success within their platform. So we do have, with our open API, we have the opportunity to become your e-signature platform, if you will, within whatever system you're using now. It can be, I wouldn't say painstaking. Certainly for you, there are some development requirements that come with it in creating that communication of data and infusing the BlueInk vehicle, if you will, to distribute those documents. But we've had conversations with just about every property management software company that exists, and have had some high-level conversations about BlueInk being the e-signature provider for that platform at the same time. I can't go into details about who they are, but certainly it's something that that's been identified through the software providers as well. The ability to have a very high level e-signature component, which is becoming more necessary, if you will, is not just on our customer base, but with other software providers infusing BlueInk as a standard feature within their system. So long answer for you, Dave, but certainly what we would do there is we would set up just an initial conversation with you, talk about your current system now, and then we can identify if there is an opportunity for integration with that platform, and then go through the steps of getting it done.
Okay, Seth, just one more question, then I'll pass you over to the one that's been put in by our audience.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in Arizona. You know, I'm sure you're great in the US. What are your partnerships like in the UK? Who in the UK uses your software already?
Sure. So certainly with you, we've got the UK Apartment Association. We are the preferred e-signature partner for RICS as of right now. And we're providing their members the opportunity to use our platform, just as our folks here. We're doing a lot in the UK in real estate, in all facets, certainly surveying, management, sales transactions. We are growing our list of government customers in the UK. Most recently had a conversation with the City of London and about their needs, specifically with electronic signatures and digital documents. We have also begun conversations with a large number of banks and financial institutions that are now looking to embrace e-signature technology on a higher level. They haven't done so in the past. And then another one is the legal society. So we're actually in the early stages of working on a partnership with that organization. As you know, in the legal industry, it's just as important now to have these documents in place. So really, the UK has embraced our technology on a very high level, in part because of the security features and the identity features that exist. You know, feeling more comfortable about the captured signature on any document that's delivered has been a powerful component to our growth in the UK. And we dedicate a lot of energy and time to our business there. As you know, I was there in February. I had every intention of being back this month and quarterly, but it might be a while, Dave, before you see me in person again, unfortunately. But you know, we've certainly had we're making our mark in the UK, and it's been a very valuable opportunity for us and customers alike across many industries. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mentioned we've got another question in from Sebastian Moritz, and you mentioned working with financial institutions. And Sebastian's asking, is it possible to make payments through the platform? Yeah.
So part of the integration process. If you've got a payment processing provider such as Stripe or Apple or anything else, we can integrate that system you have into BlueInk so that you know, if an individual has a document to fill out, or at the end of filling out that document, it brings them to the payment page, for example. We can integrate your system into that. Now, we don't have a standard platform that we use for payment portal, but we can certainly work with you on the integrated component of your system into BlueInk, so that's available to your signers as well.
That's good, and certainly you're using open APIs, which I think are pretty much the standard for doing that sort of thing these days.
It is, yeah, and you know, our API is not to get too technical, but it's incredibly simple. It's very comprehensive in what it can do, and there are about 1,500 different API opportunities just in our platform for data capture that can go into another system, whether it's the collection of a document or a certificate of evidence, signer information, you name it, whatever it might be, we can really customize or help customize that API and those connection points. And certainly our system is very open to other systems working through BlueInk, like payment processing, and we're even looking now in Canada on the financial side of having an automatic identity process where somebody would upload their driver's license, for example. They would take the selfie, and their IP address will then be verified against a database on the template of the driver's license. It will compare the image of the selfie to the driver's license, and it will tell you instantaneously if this person is truly who they say they are. So it's just a very high level identity authentication integration that we're working on for TD Bank in Canada specifically right now as they're onboarding of new checking and saving account customers.
Sounds good. Sounds very good, Seth.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting, a lot of interesting applications, a lot of interesting opportunities. But I think we've probably come to the end of the session. We've got no more open questions, and although I could carry on asking questions of you all afternoon,
Sure.
I'm sure nobody wants to hear my voice. So what I'd like to do is perhaps wrap up now and just remind our viewers that if you want to find out more about the BlueInk software from the UK website, just go to our member benefits and prices page, scroll down, and the link to BlueInk, the link to register for the free account is there. What you'll need to do is is to sign in. And if you've forgotten your sign-in process, your sign-in ID, if you have never had one, drop us a note at info@uka.org.uk and we'll get that out to you straight away, because we really want people to explore the benefits we're doing for our members, and particularly explore the benefits of BlueInk. It's a really interesting piece of software and offers a huge amount of opportunities, huge amount of capability, as Seth has said. So I think I'd say thank you, Seth, for both the introduction to BlueInk, for those of you who've not seen it before, also the introduction to what you guys have been doing to cope with today's very strange world.
Yeah,
and
you
certainly
bet.
I have to say that some of the tools you've talked about are ones that we in the UK have suddenly become experts in. So we're now masters of the universe in relation to Zoom, I suspect.
Sure.
I spent this morning working on a Trello session with our team for doing some software development on our website and our integration with other packages. And those of you who got our news buzz yesterday will know that that's been created in MailChimp. So lots of commonality going on.
There we go.
Yeah,
Good to hear.
you tend to use Teams rather than Slack, but
Sure.
there's lots of good things around there. But anyway, so I will at this point say thank you again, Seth. Thank you for getting up early to talk to us. Thank you to everybody who's joined us on the session today. We'll make a recording of this available as soon as possible. If there are any other questions you've got in relation to BlueInk or in relation to other things you want to talk to us about, again, drop us an email. We'll pick up with that. And I'll provide answers to you. So it's really all I've got to say. Seth, is there anything you wanted to finish off with?
No, just thank you, everybody, and certainly be safe out there, and best wishes from us to you. Dave, thank you again for the opportunity and to work with you and your wonderful team, and certainly all of the members that we have. So thanks again, everyone, and yeah, best wishes.
Thank you.